Hello. Hi. A little different. I'm on my couch. Hi. It looks incredibly boring, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to be in a little square down here momentarily. To get into it, I was perusing the interwebs and saw something about the Tumblr style/aesthetic coming back. I took it and ran with it and thought to myself, why not revisit Tumblr musicians and do something cool like rank them, even though they clearly meant the fashion. And so here we are, ranking Tumblr musicians. Before I start, I just want to apologize for the sound. It's a little bit noisier in my living room than where I usually film. So yeah, we're trying it out. Starting off with the queen of Tumblr herself in her flower crown, very fitting, Miss Lana Del Rey. I will say that there was a time in my life when I enjoyed really long late night drives with my pals listening to Born to Die. I still do really like that album. I was totally a Tumblr girl back in those days. That was prime time for me. You couldn't scroll 5 seconds without seeing a Lana related post, lyrics, a gif from a video, an album cover. You could not escape her. She was everywhere. I have slowly moved away from her newer stuff. It feels a bit droney to me now, but she's killing the game, obviously doing fantastic. What would the kids be calling it today? Like trad wife or something? I don't know. Maybe not that far, but she was this classy looking, beautiful, elegant lady singing about how her pussy tastes like Pepsi. So, what's not to love? I feel confident putting her in the good category. Very good. Tyler, the Creator. Oh boy. Okay. I won't lie. I was not a fan of the Wolfgang, OF, Chang Chang, Changity Chang Shabop, dip 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 doo up doo dooby doo era of Tyler, the Creator. I couldn't stand that one song that every dude in Huff socks and built like a battle droid was obsessed with. The I'm a fucking walking paradox song. Was that Yonkers? I don't know. I wasn't a fan at all. So that era, if we're focusing on just that, would be an account delete. But where I'm at now, I love his work. I think he is a pop king, pop icon who deserves his pop boy flowers. Igor is a genius album. And I definitely like a few more of his more recent songs. Lumberjack, for example. Fantastic. He easily goes in the very good category. Also, this is a personal preference, by the way. I'll explain it like this. When I step out of my personal taste bubble, I'm aware that Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees is a better song than Gimme That Nut by Eazy-E. Completely aware. However, if I was to rank those songs inside my personal taste bubble, Stayin' Alive would go in the very good category, and Gimme That Nut would be in the elite category. Just wanted to clarify that early on. I know my taste in music isn't everyone's favorite taste. I was listening to Abandon All Ships and Kill Paradise before filming. Okay, moving on. We got a lot more to cover. Bring Me the Horizon, easily elite since Pray for Plague days. One of the craziest evolutions of a band. They have gone down so many different roads, experimenting with their sound, and they nail it every time. Posthuman Next Gen is a front runner for my favorite album of the year. Hands down, elite, elite, elite. Next. Arctic Monkeys. God, they really did have Tumblr in a chokehold. That album cover was plastered everywhere. A few bops. They're fine. Sleeping with Sirens has some bops. I don't know if I'd put them on the same level as Tyler, the Creator, so a few bops it is. Melanie Martinez. Oh, Dollhouse was a beautiful album. I haven't listened to her a lot lately. I think I skimmed through Portals when it came out, and it was pretty good. Some music I can find fantastic, but I may not throw it on my everyday playlist. That being said, Melanie Martinez is the good. 21 Pilots. Don't these dudes have like a rabid BTS fan base? Do they have their own army? They're the ones that did that Thunder song, right? Lightning in the thunder. I don't remember the words. I like that song though. Oh, nope, just kidding. That's Imagine Dragons. We're We're going to put them here. Account delete. Don't put a hit out on mute, okay? They're fine. They're lovely. Who is this? Vampire Weekend. It's giving Mr. Rogers X Arthur. Contra and their self-titled were actually really good. I can't say I've listened to them recently in any way, but a few bops seems reasonable. Yeah, right? Okay. Childish Gambino. Oh yes. Oh yes. The bridge for that song Heartbeat. I think it's the bridge. The are we dating? Are we fucking? Are we best friends? Are we something? Whatever that was. Those lyrics were all over Tumblr. He isn't my favorite artist, but he is a great talent. I can recognize that. This Is America is a generational anthem, and the music video was magnificent. His newest album is beautiful. I did listen to it. Awaken My Love, also adored by the masses. He's another one who, in the grand scheme of things, I know he's staying alive by the Bee Gees level elite, but like for me, I'm gonna put him in a few bops. I only really listen to a handful of his songs. You can throw tomatoes at me, that's fair. Moving on, Halsey. I actually didn't even know she was the princess of Tumblr at a time. Being the normie I am, I didn't know her until New Americana. Halsey is elite for me. Manic is one of my favorite albums of all time. That album made me feel seen and heard in a very, very personal way. Oh, folks, we have arrived at what I dub the defend pop punk era of Tumblr. This was, and absolutely no shade, I was down that cringe rabbit hole with you, the era of pizza butts pop punk. That was everyone posting on Tumblr in 2012, at least in my neck of the interwebs woods. And speaking of neck of the woods, neck deep, that's who we're talking about. Elite. I am an unapologetic pop girly, if you have not noticed, and pop punk is my favorite kind of pop, with 50s pop being a very close second. Part of Me was the first song of theirs I heard, and Ben, the vocalist, sings with so much passion, and there is so much pain in his voice, but he makes it sound like magic. He's very talented. Part of Me was a banger to sing with my friends on long drives as well. Serpents is probably my favorite song of theirs overall. They are awesome live. They have tons of energy. This was back in like 2012, so that was a long time ago. I'm an old lady. They have back pain like me now, no doubt. So maybe they're not jumping around as much, but they're still incredibly talented. They don't even need to jump around. Elite, obviously. Not even a question, right? After Laughter, like Manic, felt like it was written for me personally. The bubbly music paired with the really depressing lyrics is my personality in song form. So I really appreciated that album. One of my favorites of all time. Rose Colored Boy is easily my favorite song from them. For whatever reason, I don't remember seeing them much on Tumblr. Like, I'm sure they were there, they're Paramore. Maybe like the occasional Misery Business music video gif would pop up. But that was like already a classic when Tumblr came around. I don't know. Who is this? I don't know this person. Wait, I know of this person. Troye Sivan. I don't think I've heard a single note of their music. Oh babe, what is this? Wow. Very scandalous album cover. Their music is actually pretty good, and the album cover is something special. I'm not gonna put a picture up, but I'll paint the picture for you. They are neck up in this muscly, fully shaven man's crotch. Fabulous. Love it. Okay. Their music is actually good, so I don't want to throw it in cringe or account delete. I did add 2 of the songs to my playlist, so I think a few bops is appropriate, right? We'll do that. Counterparts, a wicked talented band. I had a phase where I was obsessed with The Current Will Carry Us, a brilliant album. I have not listened to them much since, but they are very good. Panic at the Disco. I recognize their status as legends. However, for me, they go into the few good bops, and I'll tell you why. Because I only like a few of their songs, and that makes all the sense in the world, right? I've seen them live. I've heard all the albums. A Fever You Can't Sweat Out is obviously the standout. And if that was the only album of theirs, if they had never put out that godforsaken High Hope song, They would be in the very good category, but you know, they did release that song. Florence and the Machine. Such a beautiful voice and whimsical sound. Florence and the Machine for me is really great as like background music when I'm getting ready or I'm cleaning. That's when I'd listen to them. I have weird tendencies. I have like 5 favorites in every category of life. Food, music, movies, show. I call them my comfort options. I guess that's the best way to put it, but I have a handful of bands/songs, mostly from the 2012 Tumblr era, funnily enough, that I'm fine listening to over and over and over and over until I eventually shift to a new favorite 5. And that's kind of what Elite looks like for me personally. Yeah, that's my long-winded way of saying a few bops. This is another one where I accept my lashings. I know. I'm the worst. The Weeknd. Ooh. Very good or elite? I'm gonna put him in very good, but just know that he's technically straddling that elite line. A Day to Remember, elite, no question. One of my favorite bands of all time. They have had 0 bad songs. Goose egg. Not one. There is not one skip in their entire discography. And I will die on that hill. I remember when What Separates Me From You came out and they were eviscerated for selling out. I fucking hate that term, whatever the cool kids say. There was such a cringe hierarchy back then. I don't know if that's still a thing now. I don't talk to people. The logic was so weird. Because A Day to Remember blew up as they deserved, they were and are incredibly talented. But because of that, because they got the success they deserved, that they earned, they got dragged. And not in this house, brother. No. Elite all day long. Ooh, the XX. Our first cringe-ish. I don't enjoy them. Maybe cringe is harsh, but, you know, too late now. Cringe for me equals but also can equal cringe literally. I will elaborate on that mathematical equation as it comes up, if it comes up. But they're in the cringe category. Citizen. Ooh, I don't know. This is tough. I'm not personally a fan. Cringe, I guess, right? We'll put them in the same category as the XX. Just not my cup of tea. Marina and the Diamonds. I loved Marina, or more so her look. She definitely had a few good bops. The eyeliner was and still is flawless. If we're talking eyeliner, it's elite, but we're talking music, so a few good bops it is. The 1975. Okay. Cringe. I like Chocolate and but without those, it's straight to jail. Do Not Pass Go. Knuckle Puck did a better cover of Chocolate anyway. The 1975 fans are also ravenous. They're right up there with the Beehive. Make no mistake about it. If something happens to me, it was a Maddie Healy fangirl that took me out. SZA. An absolute legend. Easy. Elite. SZA can do any genre she wants. She could switch to opera or black metal and excel. She would be the best at it. She would be exceptional. I'm certain of it. My dream would be an entire album with FTF vibes. Or if she teamed up with Charlie XCX or 100 Gex, a girl can dream a long shot dream. Elite. Fall Out Boy. I never really got into Fall Out Boy. They were on the radio and were also on those music channels that were like high up in the cable channels, you know, like channel 795. So I feel like everyone from the age of 25 to 35 has a built-in respect for From Under the Cork Tree and whatnot, for them as a band. But if I'm being really, really honest with you, when I first heard Sugar We're Going Down, which was the first song I ever heard from them, I was like, holy shit, I need subtitles. Much respect, but yeah, no, I'm not the biggest Fall Out Boy fan. However, Grand Theft Autumn is wonderful, so a few bops it goes. My cat was in my lap. I did not pet him for maybe a minute. So he jumped down and just started knocking shit over. He does this all the time. He's very, very dramatic. No idea where he gets that from. And very, very needy. Also don't know where he gets that from. If you hear very loud banging, it is Ragnar just knocking shit down from anywhere he can. Cringe. If I ever hear such small hands again, I think I will go full on scanners. Grimes. Account delete. Period. Moving on. The story so far, elite, easily. This is my favorite band, numero uno. I will never forget the first time I heard them. I believe I was 17 and I was just so fucking angry and I just wanted to fight everyone and everything. And I heard the song Rome, and it's very rare, mind you, that I remember the exact feeling I had when I first heard a song, but Rome is one of those songs for me. Under Soil and Dirt, like I said about Manic, like I said about After Laughter, spoke to my angsty little teenage soul. At that point in my life, I was really into emo music. Taking Back Sunday was my favorite band. So I was familiar with all sorts of different vocal styles, but I had never heard anyone that sounded like Parker, that sounded angry while also sounding good with boppy music. I wanted to yell and dance at the same time, you know? So good. Proper Dose is my favorite album of all time, and it has been very, very cool to like grow up with a band. I'm not some like parasocial weirdo fangirl. I don't mean it that way. I mean that the songwriting and the experiences have grown with my personal experiences, and that's a really comforting feeling. Adulting and growing up is very weird, and it can feel very isolating at times, and to hear music that spoke to me when I was 17, that spoke to me when I was 21, you know, continue to speak to me as I'm getting older, it makes me feel far less isolated, makes me feel far more normal, and there's not too many artists that I can say their music has grown with me. So elite, very good, the best. Kehlani, the good. Sweet Sexy Savage was one of the best albums of 2017. I have to listen to her new album. I keep forgetting to, but I've never heard anything that I disliked from her. Movements. Movements is great. They have a few bops, so I shall put them in a few bops. Pierce the Veil. I'm so happy for Pierce the Veil and that TikTok boom they got with King for a Day. I cannot tell you just how uncool it was to like Pierce the Veil back in the day. I had the sickest Pierce the Veil shirt from Hot Topic in like, I think it was 2010. I don't know where my band tees went. Maybe the universe took over and just, you know, gave them to that man that collects all the old socks in Halloween Town. The only one I think I might still have is an amazing Devil Wears Prada shirt with like a dinosaur monster on it. I lived in that shirt. Anyway, Pierce the Veil is very good. Hosier? I guess I'm not the biggest fan. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. But he does have a few gems. His voice is obviously unbelievable. I will throw him in a few bops. The Neighborhood. Cringe. Sorry. Sounds like Optimus Prime. It just rolled up in front of my house. I don't know what that sound was. State Champs, Elite, another one of my favorite bands. The Finer Things is a perfect album. They've done great work since. Dead and Gone is my favorite song from them ever. I am so happy for them and all the success they're having. They are on their Taco Bell rock shit right now, and it is working for them, and that's no shade. I love me some Taco Bell rock, and if you don't know, it's like adjacent to Shrek rock, and who doesn't love All Star? The Shrek national anthem, right? Did I label them? Did I say elite? Elite. Lorde. I mean, it's Lorde. She's incredible. She may not be on my daily rotation, but she's very, very good. When I listen to her, though, it's full on. I will listen to melodrama and pure heroine from top to bottom. Sorry, I had a brain fart in the middle of that. Does anyone remember that presentation someone made about how melodrama is about Jack Antonoff or whatever? I don't know about any of the tea, and I was very invested. And I again, I'm not invested in either of those human beings, but the tea was hot and juicy and very interesting. If I find it, I will link it. It floats around Reddit every so often, but it's a fucking ride. It is quite interesting. Lorde is V-good. One Direction. Elite. I am not ashamed. What makes you beautiful makes me smile without fail when I listen to it. Such a cute song. I mean, I don't know, like, deep One Direction cuts. I am very normie. They were a bit after my preteen fangirl days. I'm a Joe Brozillennial. Do you remember that show that they had for like a second when Joseph Robinette Jonas had his like flat ironed curtain bangs? That was when life was okay, kind of. Not really. All-time low, Elite. I remember somehow ditching my 9th grade field trip to go buy Nothing Personal from a random record store that was nearby. I listened and still listen to that album top to bottom. It's perfection. Trouble in a Tank Top. Pretty Little Time Bomb blowing up. You know, you know. A$AP Rocky. He was the king of Tumblr. I can't remember if he came around pre-Krayshawn, Gucci Gooey, Louie infamy or after, but I know it was at that same-ish time. He's got a few good bops. I like A$AP. I did fall into that whole put A$AP in front of your name trend for a while. Big yikes. My Chemical Romance, another Elite. I was a fan since the Black Parade era, but the Danger Days, oh man, that was a time on Tumblr. I feel like everybody likes My Chemical Romance. They're just like universally loved.
I didn't even see the video. I literally, My Chemical Romance literally means nothing to me.
I like actually could cry, but I'm not going to, so let's just move on, honestly, because wow, I'm like, whew,
oh my God.
my existence got destroyed.
Mayday Parade, another Elite, like another top Elite. Another all-time favorite band of mine. Jamie All Over is, how can I explain? It's like what falling in love feels like in a song. It gives me butterflies every time I listen to it. It's perfect. Obviously and understandably, A Lesson in Romantics is widely considered their magnum opus, but their self-titled is my absolute favorite. Happy Endings. Ugh. I love that song. Lots of feels with Mayday Parade. They have this innate gift to make you cry, whether it's happy tears or destroyed tears.
I'll find my way to you and save the day.
Charlie XCX, come on, Elite. Charlie is a star. She has that effortless, cool girl it factor, like, I look at her and I'm like, you're just so cool. I will never be that cool and I'm jealous. She's always experimenting, always giving us something new to chew on. Brat is obviously the album of the summer. She's a star and she will be trailblazing the pop scene for many years to come, I believe. Real Friends. Real Friends is fine. I like quite a few of their songs and they sound awesome acoustic as well. I can't remember the album. Dragged You Here or something like that. The one with floorboards. I really liked that album, so we'll put that in few bops. Frank Ocean. Very good. Frank Ocean is wonderful. I don't know what he's up to these days, aside from that whole Coachella situation. I liked Blonde and Channel Orange. It's Channel Orange, you know? Okay, let me take a final look and readjust if needed. You know what? Florence doesn't belong with these scrubs. It doesn't feel right. I know you were yelling at me and you are absolutely right. To V-good she goes. And you know what? Did the Arctic Monkeys make a few bops? Sure. But I'm gonna be honest with myself. They belong in cringe. It's the same deal as the 1975. We can't play favorites around here. No exceptions. Should I rank within the ranks? Is that a fun time? No. Let's not do that. I have shit to do today. Okay. I'd like to add 3 quick ones that aren't on here, but I thought of as I was going, and I feel they're relevant. Number 1, Man Overboard. Few Bops, Love Your Friends Die Laughing was another great one to sing with my pals back in the day. The Defend Pop Punk tank tops, though, were absolutely criminal. The uniform of Warped Tour, that's what that was. Checkered Vans and a Defend Pop Punk tank. Number 2 is Crystal Castles. Listen, am I gonna sit here and tell you that after a long day, and when the gummy hits, and I'm just strolling through the majestic hills of Skyrim, picking up useless fucking mountain flowers, am I gonna tell you that Crystal Castles does not hit when that's happening? No, I'm absolutely not going to say that. Their music is tailor-made for Skyrim, in my opinion. Should I make a Skyrim playlist? I have a Fallout one. No one cares but me, and that is fine. I love making playlists. If I make one, I will link it below or something. Did I say where I was putting Crystal Castles? Good. I'm going to end this video on a controversial opinion. Title Fight. I have tried listening to them again recently, and it just doesn't connect with me. It was a hard pass and a firm account delete, and that is that, folks. There it is. I know this didn't have every Tumblr musician. I'm sure I missed many. This was really fun. I'm feeling that 2013 nostalgia creeping back, and I sense the impending quarter life crisis that comes with it.
No